should we talk about this Daredevil thing? This is what I saw. This is the only thing that I've seen so far, and it was like about a little 20-minute teaser. But we did get the first little glimpse at Daredevil Born Again, Reborn, Born Again, entire thing scrapped and made from the bottom up. And it's right here, Daredevil updates. Let's watch this.
Yeah.
It's been some time, hasn't it? You've come up in the world.
I could say the same about you.
I wonder if your darker half would agree.
Exactly what kind of a lawyer are you? A really good one.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you get.
Yep.
That's all we get from Daredevil, at least what they posted.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's any more than that, but
there's not more than that. There's a little bit. It's a broke down into like a full trailer, but it's not just Daredevil. They put in, Ironheart. They put in Marvel Zombies. They put in the last season of like What If.
Got it. Okay, all the things that they're gonna be putting out in the next year or whatever. So
yes,
here's the thing. I think Daredevil on Netflix is one of the best comic book, the best comic book live action thing, one of the best things we've ever seen. Movies, television, streaming, regardless. It's up there with the best of the best. It was that fucking good.
Yes. And
obviously I think people still really like the character. The idea of Punisher coming back, all this shit. And everything in this trailer looks perfectly fine. Fight scenes from whatever. But the problem is kind of how these two characters have already been treated in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yes. What we saw happen with Kingpin in Hawkeye and in Echo, the way we saw Daredevil's appearance in She-Hulk, which was kind of a total and complete disaster. I feel like to be able to enjoy this, you're going to have to completely forget about all that shit and separate that. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. I do think a lot of people are going to be invested in this because it is so reminiscent of the Daredevil show that we loved so much.
Yep. And I think that is definitely what they're going for. There's another thing, though, that nobody's talking about because it is very briefly seen in the trailer, the full trailer, not just the Daredevil snippet that they posted. And if you don't mind me sharing this, I'm going to show this because
go for it.
I've seen nobody talking about this, and this is what concerns me. This shot right here of Kingpin addressing what looks like somebody with a little, American flag lapel pin. Looks very reminiscent of a certain person, running for president right now.
Well, I believe that the storyline, if you remember, the storyline is going to be he becomes mayor, right? Like that. Mm-hmm. That's what's happening, right? That's the point of this. So,
yes.
I don't know if they're just because we see a person who's a villain in a part of political power. I don't know if you can immediately be like, wow, they're trying to make a Trump comparison. We did know he was going to attempt to become mayor. So,
mayor
of New York. I don't know what I said, if I said a different city, but yeah, mayor of New York.
Yeah. And I'm all about that. If that's the storyline, and if they want to stay apolitical and they just want to run an awesome storyline, my concern is just that because of what we've seen lately, and because of where we are right now in the country, that they're not going to just say, hey, what if we make, Kingpin basically look just like Trump? And what if we basically draw those comparisons to this corrupt guy trying to take over the city and manipulate everyone around him and stuff? Because one thing we've seen from these writers is that they're not really like mega creative. They kind of only write what they see in the world. And so my concern is that is going to be the thing that they go for, is trying to make him some kind of Trump allegory and stuff. If they avoid that and they go with an actual writing that we've gotten from Daredevil before, I'm all for it. So
yeah, I feel like that one little shot is not enough to make me be like, oh, look at what they're doing. Now, if we see a line in a subsequent trailer where Kingpin's like, I do not accept the results of this election, something like that is like, okay. But no, I don't see it from just that small little one right there. But who knows? Maybe it's something you can look out for sure. But
Yeah.
they did also announce essentially their entire slate
Yeah, they did.
for 2025. And remember when they're like, hey, we're going to be about quality more than quantity. That's what we're about. Well, get ready because almost every month of the year, you're going to have a fucking Marvel something being released. Marvel Studios 2025 slate. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, obviously animated. Captain America Brave New World, Valentine's Day. Daredevil Born Again, March 4th. Thunderbolts, May 2nd. And I believe Thunderbolts is officially going to mark the end of phase 5 of the MCU. I believe that's essentially what they said. I don't know where Ironheart fits in. If Ironheart is phase 5 or phase 6, I believe phase 6 officially kicks off with Fantastic Four, but maybe they just meant for movies, Thunderbolts. But Ironheart, the long-awaited Ironheart series that has been done filming for like 4 years at this point, finally going to see the light of day. Fantastic Four First Steps. That is going to be a very important movie for them.
Yeah, 100%.
A super, super important movie. Eyes of Wakanda, I don't care about it. Marvel Zombies, also don't particularly care about it. At least they're releasing that in October. That makes sense. And then Wonder Man, which I forgot was in production. It has been in production for forever.
Yeah.
Forever. The race swapped Wonder Man series. Like these two series right here have been in production for forever.
Yeah.
And the fact that we hadn't seen them yet probably means that they're complete and total dog shit.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Well, I mean, the fact that they brought back Trevor Slattery for Wonder Man, like, who was really chomping at the bit for that character to come back and do something in the MCU? So, yeah, I don't know, man.
Like, to me, the things that are most important, Fantastic Four is huge, and how that is received is going to mean a lot, I think, for the health of the Marvel Cinematic Universe going forward. I do think we see Robert Downey Jr. in a small, tiny little appearance to introduce him in this universe, in this movie. That's why I think this happens. And then Daredevil, I think that is important because that's something that is like really beloved by a lot of people, and people are going to be extremely critical of anything they do. So that is a very important release for them as well. A lot of these other things, I think that's going to be shit. I think this is going to be shit. Animated things don't matter. Don't care. Captain America Brave New World, that's going to fucking flop. And I have no idea what to expect from Thunderbolts.
I don't either. I wouldn't be surprised to see Thunderbolts be like a mild success just because of who's in it and the vibe that it's giving off. But that's of all of this, Daredevil, like you said, Fantastic Four, it's like it's gonna be hit or miss. I don't know that there's gonna be an in-between with that. And yeah, the Wonder Man thing makes no sense to me because like for a lot of people, they don't even know who Wonder Man is, and for people that do, Wonder Man is like incredibly powerful. Like he's like Thor level powerful in the comic books. So him being here and being in this, my guess is they're not going to do that. My guess is going to be some kind of, I don't know. Who knows? We might not even get powers. It might just all be a TV show for him, and it might not ever become anything because, you know, it's Marvel and they just do whatever they want with these characters nowadays. So, yeah.
Yeah. So get ready for more Marvel in 2025.
Yeah.
And the start of phase 6, bro. Phase 5, phase 4 and phase 5. Pretty big stinkers for the old MCU.
Yeah.
A set rigger died working on Wonder Man before a single thing was filmed. Also, Wonder Man is a D tier hero. No one knows him. Also, race swap. Yeah. Wonder Man, even like the image that they put out with it just looks like a random black guy. Like they snapped a picture of him walking out of his house or something.
Yeah, they'll let that work. Also, just as like a little side thing, anytime you have a production where somebody has died on set or been severely injured on set, it is a massive red flag for the entire production. I mean, accidents do happen on set all the time. It does happen. But typically when somebody gets injured on a movie set like that or dies on a movie set, it's often the result of somebody doing something very careless. You know, if the stuntman dies, stuntman gets severely injured, it's like that's kind of expected. But for like a rigger, for a key grip, anybody like that to get injured or die on set usually is a red flag that they were trying to either rush production or somebody that was in charge wasn't taking care of business. And that's kind of already a red flag to that whole thing. So, but we'll see.
Well, yeah, like if it happens to a rigger, it very well could be like their fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I do remember that report. It's from a long time ago because Wonder Man's been in production a long ass time. Yeah, I do remember that happening.
Yeah.
Maybe he's gonna haunt the entire cast.
Maybe. Yeah.
After all that happened, who knows? Wasn't Nathan Fillion cast as Simon Williams already in the MCU? I remember some fake movie posters for a Stark biopic or something, maybe from Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah, he was on a fake poster that they deleted, they've gotten rid of, but yeah, they had a fake poster where the character Simon Williams was in a movie that was supposed to be like a parody of, let me just pull up the thing here. It's supposed to be a parody of Conan the Barbarian.
Oh. Well, if you remember, like in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie specifically, we've had a couple of like false starts when it comes to like cameos and shit like that.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Simon Williams. Yeah, so you're right. You're right there, Sinister Mustache. If you remember, what was the tease at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 1 in the post-credit sequence?
I don't actually remember. It's been so long since I've seen the first one.
In the end, when you saw like the collector's thing all fucked up, that cocoon was like broken. Right. And so that was an Adam Warlock thing. Yeah. And then literally that was the tease in the fucking next one.
Yeah.
Like in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, then they're like, oh wait, no, this time it's Adam Warlock in this big golden cocoon, we promise. So there have been a couple little Easter eggs and stuff like that happened in these Guardians movies that they ended up not going with or taking a different direction. Howard the Duck. Look, yes, in the Howard the Duck scene, look at the cocoon in the Howard the Duck scene. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Yeah, so in that scene where they show all that shit, the cocoon that you saw when you went into the collector's thing originally, that's what he's sitting in right there.
Yeah, I do remember this, and yeah, I do remember that cage.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's what that tease was originally supposed to be.
Interesting.
And they kind of delayed that a little bit.
Yeah, and then turned it into something else, and then made him a special needs kid. So.
Adam Warlock could have been so fucking cool.
Oh yeah, dude. I was actually really excited to see him pop up, and nope. Yeah, he was just mentally handicapped, and now he's a fucking Guardian of the Galaxy, I guess. I'm like, oh, that's cool, I guess. Whatever.
We know we're never gonna see any of that shit. Like, God.
No. Never.